All right. Hello, Speed of Seth drivers. Welcome to your online COVID protocol for Thunderhill Raceway Park at the East Loop. So let's get the COVID stuff right off the bat out of the way. So we are not allowing any passengers at this time due to COVID and the spikes again. So no passengers allowed. You are allowed to bring one crew member with you that can help pit and hang out, whatever, but they will not be able to ride in the car with you on track. Masks must be worn at all times unless you are in your car with your helmet on, or if you're eating, which will also be by your pit area. There won't be any indoor dining or anything like that. The cafeteria will be open for you to eat outside in the cafeteria, but just remember to follow the normal protocol and keep that 6 feet social distance, and do your part to ensure that everyone can be safe and enjoy the event. Safety is always our top priority, so please ensure that you're following those guidelines. We will be removing people if they are not wearing their masks. If they're asked multiple times to put it back on, they will be asked to leave the facility. So please do your part with that. Now, when you arrive at Thunderhill for the East Loop, you're going to be, go through the gate. You're going to do the sign in there. They're going to take your temperature and whatnot. Then you're just going to go straight on ahead, and you're going to see the big awnings there, and you're going to see the main building. We're going to have a drive-through check-in setup for all the drivers to just drive through, show us your digital e-waiver and your online driver's meeting test showing that 100%. You may take that test multiple times, by the way, so study the other video, pass the test, because if you show that 100%, you get your driver's meeting sticker right off the bat, and we don't have to collect as a group, which is what we want to avoid. The exception being novices. Novices still do that online driver's test, but know that we will still be meeting regardless, because that's when you need to go over how the day is going to go and get you paired with your instructors. Again, that's the COVID stuff. Hopefully we're past this in X amount of months, but it all comes down to us doing our part. So please ensure you're, again, following that protocol. Now, moving on to the actual track logistics. Here at Thunderhill Raceway, there is a sound limit of 95 decibels in the morning. After 9 a.m., it will jump up to the normal 103 decibels. So keep that in mind, that if you've got a reasonably loud car, that you may fail in the morning, especially when it's cold out, or if it's got a lot of clouds or something like that. The ceiling's a lot lower that way, so keep that in mind. But after 9 a.m., it jumps to that 103. So please be aware of that. Now, once you've got all your stuff, all your stickers put on the car, all the other stuff that you talked about in the safety video, when your session is due out, the track entrance, the hot pit lane entrance you're going to take, is there's going to be a break in the K-wall next to two very small awnings, and that'll be a way for you to get on the hot pit lane and go up to the hot pits. Now, there's going to be two lanes, as always with Speed of Seth. You're going to have a slow lane and a fast lane. There'll be a sign to dictate which side is which, and as tradition, it's pretty self-explanatory. Fast lane's going to go out first, slow lane's going to go out second. So it's not going to go 1-1-1. It's going to go fast lane first, followed by the slow lane. So, self-grid yourself, determine what lane you're going to go in, and then you're going to be out on track. Now, when you are leaving the pits, and this is every time you leave the pits, I don't care if you're the first car out, middle car, last car, you've come in from a black flag, late to the session, whatever. Anytime you leave the hot pits on the East Loop, there is a blend line, as we call it, a solid white line leaving the pits into turn 1 area. You must stay to the right of that white blend line anytime you leave those pits, because people are, if you're coming out mid-session, people are coming down the front straight doing easily 100 plus, and you don't want to just all of a sudden apex turn 1 leaving the pits at 40-50 miles an hour. So if you apex turn 1, meaning crossing that blend line from the hot pits, you immediately are going to get a black flag, immediately going to get a strike. So please be aware of that. Anytime you leave that hot pits and you see that solid white line, you have to stay right of that white line. Now, once you're out on track and you're coming back around to the front straight from the final turn, when you get past the K-wall, you may cut over all the way to the right and use all that road to the right of the blend line because, well, it's paved, it's fair game, you want to use that. It's just whenever somebody's leaving the pits, they have to obey that blend line. So just be aware of that. Now, as always, when you're out on track, look around for the corner workers, wave to them. Build up the memory of where they're at, because they're your lifeline to what's going on out there. You don't know what's 2-3 corners ahead, but if you see a flag waving, then you can prepare for it, right? Got to prepare for it so you don't cause an incident or have something extra added to that incident. Your checkered flag will be in 2 spots, as always, on the East Loop. We're going to have it at start-finish, which is pretty self-explanatory, and you'll also see it at turn 11. Now, if you get it at turn 11, You have to pit. You don't want to be going back around and seeing again at the checkered spot, because you see it again at the checkered, you're now holding up the next group of 30 people. And you don't want to do that. Everyone deserves equal track time. So please, when you see that checkered flag at turn 11, just know that you got to come in. The track exit is going to be all the way right as you come through the final turn, which is 14-15, that kind of long right hairpin turn. You're just going to hug right. And as always, anytime you're leaving the pits or you're doing something different on track, have your hand out in the window in a fist. And please make sure if you are pitting, you're all the way on the right side and stay right through that turn. Don't be all the way out like you're going to apex the turn and then decide to pit last minute. Make sure you've made up your mind and you're going to pit prior, and all the way over to the right before you do your pitting. Now, when you come in the pits, you're going to get back, you're going to be put in the hot pit lane, then you're going to see a right exit to get you back into the actual main pit area. Once you're in that pit area, speed limit is always 10 miles an hour or less. If I have to keep talking to people throughout the day about that, you will get removed for that, because there's other drivers, sometimes animals, there's small children, stuff like that. So please be aware of that and be safe. Now, if you get the checkered flag at 11, I highly suggest when you come off track, go over to the right. There's usually that big open area where they used to do skid pad stuff years ago. Use that area to cool off your car. Just do nice big circles, cool off your brakes, and then get back to the pits. Now, aside from that, the only things you need to worry about is listen for the announcements, in case for some reason we get off schedule, but you want to listen for the announcements. We do our best to stick on schedule. A lot of that depends on the individuals yourselves and making sure that we don't have any delays, but keep an ear out for those adjustments if any are needed. There are no mandatory drivers meetings except for the novice group, unless I feel the need to call one for a group. So again, make sure you have your digital waiver ready to go in the morning. Make sure you have that 100% on your driver's meeting test. You can retake that test multiple times. Watch the video that's also included in this email that goes over the flags and everything. And I guarantee you'll have a great time. We look forward to seeing you there. And thank you for joining us at Speed SF. Say bye. Bye-bye.